You've been told that hope is what gets you through the darkest times. But what if hope is actually a trap? Commander James Stockdale, a prisoner of war in the Vietnam War, knew that blind optimism could be deadly. He saw it happen to his fellow prisoners, who were always waiting for the next rescue or release, only to be disappointed and broken. Stockdale took a different approach. Stockdale was a naval aviator who was shot down over North Vietnam in 1965. He was captured and taken to the infamous Hanoi Hilton prison camp, where he was subjected to brutal treatment and conditions. But Stockdale refused to give up. He used his time in prison to reflect on his experiences and develop a new mindset.
One of the younger prisoners, Lieutenant Miller, was struggling to cope with the harsh conditions. He would often whisper to Stockdale about his hopes for a quick release and return home. But Stockdale warned him that hoping for artificial deadlines would only lead to disappointment and despair.
Stockdale knew that the key to survival was to accept the brutal reality of their situation. He called it radical reality acceptance. It meant acknowledging the worst-case scenario and preparing for it, rather than hoping for a miracle rescue or release. The prisoners developed a secret communication system, using a 5x5 grid and tapping on the walls to convey messages. It was a way for them to support and encourage each other, even in the darkest moments. But the guards were always watching, waiting for a chance to catch the prisoners in the act. The sound of boots echoing outside the cell was a constant reminder of the danger and uncertainty.
One day, the guards came for Stockdale, dragging him out of his cell and subjecting him to a brutal interrogation. But Stockdale refused to yield, even when faced with physical and emotional torture.
When Stockdale was returned to his cell, he was beaten and exhausted. But he still found the strength to whisper to Miller, "Do not hope for a softer tomorrow. Steel your soul to conquer the brutal reality of today."
Miller was shocked by Stockdale's words. He had always thought that hope was the key to survival, but now he realized that it was actually a trap. He began to see the world in a different way, to accept the reality of their situation and prepare for the worst.
As the days turned into weeks, and the weeks turned into months, the prisoners began to adapt to their new reality. They found ways to survive, even to thrive, in the harsh conditions of the prison camp. Stockdale's message had spread throughout the camp, inspiring the other prisoners to adopt a similar mindset. They began to focus on the present moment, rather than hoping for a future rescue or release.
The guards were surprised by the prisoners' newfound resilience. They had expected them to be broken and demoralized, but instead, they found a group of men who were determined to survive and even to thrive.
The prisoners' attitude had changed, and with it, their behavior. They were no longer waiting for a miracle rescue or release, but instead, they were taking control of their own lives. Stockdale's paradox was that hope could be a trap, but it was also a necessary part of survival. The key was to find a balance between hope and reality, to accept the brutal facts of the situation while still maintaining a sense of purpose and direction.
The prisoners who survived the Hanoi Hilton prison camp were not the ones who had hoped for a quick release or rescue. They were the ones who had accepted the reality of their situation and had found a way to thrive in the harsh conditions.
Stockdale's story is a testament to the power of the human spirit. It shows that even in the darkest times, there is always a way to survive and even to thrive. The Stockdale paradox is a reminder that hope can be a double-edged sword. It can inspire us to take action and to persevere, but it can also lead us to deny reality and to wait for a miracle rescue.
The key to survival is to find a balance between hope and reality, to accept the brutal facts of the situation while still maintaining a sense of purpose and direction.
So, the next time you find yourself facing a difficult situation, remember the Stockdale paradox. Don't hope for a softer tomorrow. Steel your soul to conquer the brutal reality of today. Subscribe to forge your iron mindset. The iron mindset.